This is coming, and here come the Detroit Lions. They are in the postseason. And here is your matchup at Soldier Field. The Lions and the Bears in Week 16. For number 8, and I don't know, Troy, how you go out there if you're Clausen finally getting this chance, not trying to do too much.
Well, they're going to try to get him into a rhythm here early in this ball game with some quick passing.
They roll him out, short throw, and thank you very much for coming, says Martellus Bennett. You're going to start 0 for 1. Quick throw. Wilson, how about that play? Coming up from the corner spot, Mathis. The immediate tackle,
and it doesn't matter if he's got double teams or not. When he shows up and really wants to put pressure on the quarterback, he's as good as anybody in the game.
3rd down and 9, and they hand it off. That's Forte. 3 and out. Jason Jones, who had the big week last week for Detroit.
Play well against a good defensive team. The Bears are not one of those good defensive teams, however.
Bush is lined up wide to the left, top of the screen. Pass caught. That's him. And he is out across the 20 by a few inches, a gain of 8. Christian Jones.
Injuries there without Adrian Waddle. Again today, he's been put on IR, and they're going with Cornelius Lucas, the undrafted rookie.
Pass caught wide open over the middle. Calvin Johnson gets hit, dropped, a gain of 18, and starting the day 2 for 2 is Stafford.
Well, Calvin Johnson had a big day the last time these two teams met on Thanksgiving. You see the pocket that's afforded Matthew Stafford, the route then on the outside by Calvin Johnson, and the Bears, like they did a few weeks ago, they're going to have the rookie Kyle Fuller in coverage a good part of the time on Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson won that matchup.
That's Tate in motion, handoff to Bush. I don't know if people realize, Troy, that Reggie Bush was a 1,000-yard back last year. He's been banged up this year. He's only played 9 games coming in. He's suffered through an ankle injury. But he's somebody that if they could get him on a roll, what a difference he could make.
It's been a tough year for him all season at just the right time.
Quick pass. It's caught. That's Johnson again. And he is being worked on.
Able to get some pressure on Stafford, but because of the off coverage, the ball came out on time. Trying to mix it up today.
Here's Wynn. George Wynn gets the carry. Brought down by Christian Jones. And here's a look at this defense, which is really not good. This is the area they concentrated on during the offseason after a really good offensive year last year for Chicago. And some of the names, but they've been banged up. No Briggs, no Houston, no Tillman, no DJ Williams.
I think they knew that they had some concerns coming into the year defensively. Last in the league last year in run defense. Tried to address that. They did. But it has been some growing pains, especially in that secondary.
Stafford all day. And then underthrows Tate. Stafford was not sacked last week against the Vikings, but he's a guy that gets hit a lot. He's been sacked 39 times. And he
against Atlanta, but there's no quit in this team, and it's largely due to the fact that Matthew Stafford is our quarterback.
Important 3rd down here for the Bears defense, and they second. Brought down by Jared Allen. And that has to feel good for the veteran getting the sack on 3rd and 5. His 6th of the year.
Well, here's the tight coverage. Come up, play press, not allow these free releases off the line of scrimmage. You see the job that this secondary does, and they get pressure on Matthew Stafford. As I said a few weeks ago.
Here for Mark Trestman. Will it be his 2nd and final year as head coach of the Bears? The late handoff Forte. Levy is the guy who makes the play. A gain of just 2.
Started at left tackle, right tackle, left guard, and now he gets his first start of the season at right guard.
2nd and 8, another one for Forte. And you just don't run the ball against the Lions. A gain of 2. Whitehead, the middle linebacker, made the stop. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, that's the strength of this defensive unit, that front 7. For this Detroit defense, they've been outstanding playmakers throughout the year.
10 interceptions between them.
Easy, 5-4, 5-4.
3rd down and 6. Pass is to Noah in between Jeffrey and Bennett. And another 3 and out. NFC North, or if they win out, the Lions win the NFC North for the first time. This is Bush. And Reggie Bush knocked out of bounds with a gain of 5. Last divisional title for the Lions, 1993.
I'll tell you, everybody's been waiting to see what's going to happen with this team in the second half of the year. They've held it together nicely.
Reggie Bush draws a crowd. Well played, as Kyle Fuller was there with Ratliff helping. Let's go to Joel Klatt with a game break. Saints a tough team to figure this year. Took apart Chicago on Monday night. 3rd and 6. Stafford fires it incomplete. They're going to throw a flag, and they're going to get the rookie Fuller, who was interfering with
extend this drive.
15-yard penalty, 1st down. Golden Tate on the outside. Fuller was there, and he got help from the linebacker Jones. A gain of 5.
And we talked about this Detroit offense, Joe, and you think about Joe Lombardi and all these guys that have been down. It's been hard on Matthew Stafford, but it's been hard on the play caller also.
2nd and 5, and trying to hook up with Megatron, cannot do it.
I think a little bit of a miscommunication there on what Matthew Stafford was expecting from Calvin Johnson, because they got one-on-one.
3rd and 5. Lions already in field goal range for Prater, and he'll be next on the stage as the pass is incomplete. Riddick, the intended target.
Well, Stephen Paillet, he's been exceptional this season in being able to get pressure in the middle. And then Willie Young, who's having a great year as well, 10 sacks on the season. He comes up the middle, and so Matthew Stafford has an open guy and just unable to get the ball in his hands.
Well, they pass on a 52-yard try, and Jim Caldwell's going to go for it on 4th and 5. Easily in the range of Prater, but a chance on 4th down. And the pass caught. That's Bush. He is inside the 20. Down inside the 15. That play looked doomed from the beginning, but somehow Stafford found Reggie Bush, who made a good catch and picks up 21.
Yeah, I don't know how he caught this, Joe. Rob Sims comes out. Jonathan Bostic is in a great position, but Sims gets just enough of him. You see the catch by Reggie Bush. It didn't look like it had a chance of going anywhere, and yet they're able to convert that on 3rd down. That's an excellent job by Reggie Bush bringing the ball in.
That's a good sign for Detroit. Get Reggie Bush going. That was all Reggie. Now they hand it to him. Reggie Bush gonna dive for the touchdown. Third ball, and took Cam Newton. And that was it for Clausen. First start in almost 4 years, and he's got a man. Pass caught. Wilson. And it's the 2nd completion, the first big one for Clausen, good for 18.
This is an excellent job by Jimmy Clausen. This is what he talked about. It's all a part of Mark Trestman's offense. You got to go through your progressions. He wants to play this on the front side. It's not there. His eyes come back to the backside. His feet go with him, and he delivers an accurate throw. These are the things that we saw Josh McCown do very well last year when he stepped in for Jay Cutler. Mark Trestman believes in his offense and feels that there are answers regardless of whatever a defense does.
Trying to set up a screen. He's got one to Forte. He's got a good block, and Matt Forte, after the completion to Wilson, gets 10. And he wasn't as good as he was before he went down.
Yeah, he struggled, maybe regressed a little bit, and came into the season based on the time he had invested in the offseason, expected a lot more out of him.
Here's Forte. He's got another first down. And a good drive being put together here by the Bears as Matt Forte gets 10.
Yeah, right into the teeth of that #1 run defense by Matt Forte. Excellent job up front. We talked about it. They're without Kyle Long at right guard. Ola making the start there. And yet they run right in behind him and Roberto Garza and have a nice game.
Garza's been at it for a long time, 14-year pro. Here's a toss, short toss, Forte left side, brought down by Bynes. You think about the weapons here. You got a big tight end in Bennett. When they're healthy, they have two huge, good wide receivers in Brandon.
Hey, 26, left, 26.
Just got it away. Clausen has got Wilson. And Wilson to the 30. Going to be a yard shy of a first down. For more on Brandon Marshall, here's Aaron.
We mentioned Brandon Marshall out for the season with rib and lung injuries, Joe. You know, not a lot of smiling going on in the Chicago sideline, but there was when he came out to see his team. He's been away from the team the past couple of days. His wife gave birth to a boy and a little girl this week, and they just came home this Friday, or actually today. So this is the very first day he's seen everybody.
And here supporting his team on 3rd down and 2. Here's Forte. And Forte's not going to get it. And it's Ndamukong Suh who made that play. It's going to be 4th down. And if you're 5 and 9, why not go for it?
And the big number 90 right in the middle. You see the double team, and he's able to fight through that and then make the play on Matt Forte. That's an outstanding job by Ndamukong Suh taking that on. That's some tough work there in the trenches. And I like this decision by Mark Trestman.
4th down and 1. Quick throw, Jeffrey. And he's got it. With blockers out there in front of him, a gain of 4 yards on 4th and 1.
Well, it's set up pretty well, Joe, because here they go with the stack and they put Alshon Jeffrey off the ball. You can't get a press on him. They block it up, and then he's got to go get it with inside-out pursuit by the Detroit Lions. An excellent job of execution. Ball comes out quickly with Clausen. First down, Bears.
At the 26. Seems like Clausen settled in a little bit.
Yeah, just 9 passing attempts this season coming into this game, and you can imagine there was a little bit of nerves coming into his first start in 3 years.
He fires it incomplete for Wilson. Pass broken.
What do you need? What do you want?
Trying to set up a screen again. It's not there. Clausen going to run and slide to make it a more manageable 3rd down. And that could do it for quarter number 1 here in Chicago.
Even that, Clausen showing good poise because they're trying to set up the screen. And you always worry then if it's not.
Quarter for Chicago.
Yep. What do you want?
Pass caught. Jeffrey, first down. He got to the 10. And now Clausen showing what was his calling card at Notre Dame, a very accurate quarterback in college.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job. And then the double team up front once again by Ndamukong Suh. How would you like to have that be your job each week and battle a couple of 300-pounders? And not a lot of fun, but he makes it look easy at times. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him at the end of this year, whether or not he's going to return in the Lions uniform.
Hey, white! 57.
Toss to Forte. Matt Forte down near the 2. And the Bears are doing what you said. They are forcing the run against this #1 ranked run defense.
Yeah, and that's good because even though they got ahead on Thanksgiving Day, they only had 8 rushing attempts in that game. Matt Forte only carried the ball 5 times for 6 yards on Thanksgiving. Already today, he's had a number of carries, and that's going to be important to continue to have balance within this offense.
We can go. 32. I'm under. Okay. Hey, shut.
incompletion to make it 3rd down and goal.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete forward pass.
Now 3rd and goal. Quick snap this time. Forte, nothing. 4th down again.
I like Mark Trestman's decision earlier to go for it on 4th.
Slay. And the defense for Detroit holds. And it was Eben Britton, the extra offensive lineman, who was the intended target. And so that will get the ball out of the shadow of the end zone. The drive starts at the 17. Stafford rolling right to the sideline, broken up. Good coverage by the rookie Fuller on Calvin Johnson.
Well, here's that ball on the 17. It's a big difference.
Now 2nd and 10. Pass caught. Calvin Johnson diving grab. Fuller in coverage again and good for 12.
Yeah, I think Calvin Johnson is just really warming up, you know, today. When you think back to the last time they played, he had 11 receptions, almost 150 yards. And if you're going to come up and play one-on-one, as the Bears have, he's going to get a lot of opportunities, and even the press isn't going to disrupt what the Lions are capable of doing.
Joyke Bell in the lineup now as Stafford is chased. He threw it at the feet of his fullback, but a late flag comes in. Dominic Raiola right in the middle of it, the center. 14th year. Stafford's got a man. That man's named Johnson. And he's got a 1st down across the 45. And they better figure out something else for the coverage of Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, well, they've got safety in the middle of the field, so it's a true one-on-one look, and that's just hard. It's hard on anybody to try to cover Calvin Johnson, let alone a rookie. But they've got to be able to give some safety help. The problem is when you start giving help to one side, you really expose the other, and then you lighten the load in your run defense. That's not what the Bears want to do.
Here's Joyke Bell. Let's go for a game break and check in with Joel Klatt for week 17. 2nd and 6. Stafford is in trouble, and down he goes. Knocked to the ground by David Bass. And Stafford just held on to it too long.
Well, he's trying to get the ball to Calvin Johnson, but they give safety help then to Fuller. Here's Calvin Johnson at the bottom of the screen, and as Matthew Stafford steps up in the pocket, he's thinking he's going to get a shot down the field. No way, with the safety playing over the top of that look, and then the Chicago Bears are able to get to him. So good job defensively by defensive coordinator Mel Tucker.
3rd down and 5 now. Stafford is going to get hit as he throws it. He's got Tate down inside the 20, and a good throw under pressure from Matthew Stafford.
Well, you're not kidding. Matthew Stafford, he really gets blown up at the end of this play. He's trying to buy some time, and in doing so, he steps up into the pocket, but he steps right into where the hit is coming from, and he's able to deliver the ball. Looked like pretty good coverage from here, Joe, with Tim Jennings on Tate. He's just able to go up and make a play on that ball.
You see Stafford's already working with a bloody nose in this game. Golden Tate. He's got 2 catches today, 93 on the season. What an addition.
Well, you kind of wonder where they would be without him. He's been the one constant all year.
Stafford has to pull it down, and now he goes down. A sack, and in the arms of Christian Jones. And the 3rd sack for the Bears defense.
Well, it's the tight coverage on the outside keeps Matthew Stafford from feeling comfortable getting the ball out on time, and what we've seen is when he's had to clutch it in the pocket, the pass rush has been able to get there and get some hits on him. He got the completion to Golden Tate. This time they get to him.
Ready. No 20. No 20.
Stafford out to his left, end zone, a wobbler, and he's picked off by Brock Vereen. That came out ugly, out of the hand of Stafford into heavy coverage, and the rookie Brock Vereen with his first interception in the NFL for 125 pass attempts. But it gives the Bears the ball at the 20, and now they've got the ball back near their 17 as Fluellen makes the play for Detroit. Let's go back to the interception.
Yeah, you got brother on brother. Corey Fuller trying to get open against his brother Kyle Fuller, and Kyle Fuller does an excellent job in coverage. Matthew Stafford initially was trying to get the ball inside to Calvin Johnson, and you see Kyle Fuller let him have it. You can only imagine how many times those two paired off against each other growing up out in the backyard.
There's another brother, Vincent Fuller, who played safety for Detroit. All of them went to Virginia Tech. But the talent in that family. 2nd and 13, good throw, and Jeffrey just couldn't grab it. We've seen some good throws now from Clausen.
Yeah, he showed some pretty good poise in the pocket, getting it out. Has an opportunity, and when you're playing with a young guy who hasn't had a start in 3 years, you just got to be able to make those plays, and Alshon Jeffrey certainly knows it. They're one, and we showed that graphic. Matthew Stafford's done an excellent job of protecting the football, but that was not a good decision right from the start.
On 3rd and 13, Clausen going to step up and throw it incomplete over the middle for Jeffrey. And after just the 17th giveaway by the Lions this season, they're on a pace for the fewest in franchise history. It's 3 and out scrimmage. And this is only their 5th run. Here's Reggie Bush, who has a touchdown carry in this game. The only points, picks up 5. Lions have won 11 games only 3 times in franchise history. They're going for number 11 here today in year 1 under Jim Caldwell.
Well, you mentioned it a moment ago, Joe. I mean, these Lions fans that are at home watching this game, it's been an exciting year. It's been an up and down year. And if they're able to take care of business, what an exciting time for this organization and all these faithful fans over the years to be playing for the division.
Stafford going to end up moving left, throwing, and he's got Calvin Johnson, who dots the I as he heads out of bounds with another big play of 16 yards.
Yeah, you see the matchup again, and maybe a little bit of a push off by Calvin Johnson on Kyle Fuller to be able to come back out and work the sidelines. Matthew Stafford buys some time and delivers a good ball.
5 catches, 77 yards for Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's just warming up. You know, they've got to give him some help. I know that the press coverage in this game as opposed to the off coverage will help some, but one-on-one against him isn't going to do it.
Stafford, that ball might have been tipped. Coming through the line of scrimmage, and it ends up through the hands of Villanova with a huge comeback win over Syracuse yesterday. Here's Bush. A lot of room to run, and Reggie Bush is going to be down inside the 20. With 5.5 to go in the first half, a carry of 16 yards.
Well, this is encouraging, seeing what Reggie Bush is able to do. Larry Warford, the right guard, is able to pull around, and you see the hole that Reggie Bush has. It's an excellent job. Eric Ebron, the rookie tight end, he's involved in the blocking up the field as well. Reggie Bush has looked good. He's shown some quickness. He's been able to get on the edge. Got some speed. That's a good sign for the Detroit Lions.
They're the numbers this quarter. Dominated by the Lions. They did have the pick in the end zone. Here's Bell. Nowhere to go, lost the ball. And it looked like he got right back on top of it. He did, a loss of 1.
It looked like he had a good bounce, came right back into his hands, and able to keep from turning the ball over. Joique Bell, who's been relied on heavily throughout this year, also with Reggie Bush missing a number of games and dealing with the injury. He's been forced to be the workhorse for this offense.
You can see the play was made by Paya. He knocked it out, but Bell got right back on it. 2nd and 11.
Well, Paya really has had an outstanding season. Big part of it, he's been healthy.
Stafford throws behind Calvin Johnson. The rookie right there with him. Now 3rd and 11. And third down. Pass is picked. Second interception thrown by Stafford, and it's Ryan Mundy who gets his 4th of the season. And again, with the Lions knocking on the door, the first one in the end zone. This one picked by Mundy, just short of it. Chicago with the ball.
Stafford really thought Golden Tate was going to stay on the move. He pulled up. It gave the lane then to Mundy to come in and get the interception.
Four-man rush. Pass caught by Bennett. He gets popped and stays on his feet. Good tough run by Martellus Bennett out to the 11, a gain of 9.
Martellus Bennett, who's having a career year catching the football, shows some ability to stay on his feet and get some pretty good yards after the catch. And yeah, elbows down there, so we'll see whether or not that's going to be a challenge. Does it in Detroit? There's real consistency, has a calming influence over these guys. They like the way they're treated, and they've been able to battle through some tough times.
Clausen is going to get rid of it. Looked like the knee was close to being down as he completes it to Forte for a little breathing room, and we'll take a look. This knee almost went down in the end zone, and he stayed up, which would have been a safety, obviously. Instead, a gain of 6 to Forte.
Yeah, what a job by Jimmy Clausen. Tell you, that's a, how about Ziggy Ansah? He's the one who's able to get the pressure. Looked like it was Jermon Bush. He went right over the top of and just buried him into the ground.
Now 3rd down and 4.
Blue, special.
Clausen fires, and Jeffrey with another drop. And Clausen's going to need some help. Alshon Jeffrey, as a flag is thrown on the near sideline. The indication is against Detroit, but that's 4 drops now.
Be able to start making some of the plays that they've not made for him.
On 1st down, handoff Forte. A little room there, and Matt Forte out to the 20, gain 7. Chicago has 2 timeouts as we approach the 2-minute warning in what is only a 7-point game here at Soldier Field.
Yeah, so the Bears, they miss out on an opportunity to at least come away with 3 points on the one drive that they got down to the 2-yard line. But the Lions, who have had opportunities to get points, and then 2 red zone interceptions by Stafford.
Good play. That's Ansah. A gain of 1 on the carry for 15. Now 3rd and 2.
59, Mike.
You don't convert here, Detroit's going to have another chance for points. There's a conversion to Forte. Good protection for Clausen. And Forte over the middle, good for 10 and a 1st down. And now they got to hurry it up. Remember, Clausen didn't get a chance to practice on Wednesday, so he's working on a short week after a Monday night game here against New Orleans. Running a 2-minute offense, and that will at least stop the clock with 1:33 left, 2nd and 10.
Coming into this ball game, but as we have talked about, I really think he's done a nice job here in the first 30 minutes of executing the game plan.
Jeffrey has 3 of the 4 drops. This one is caught on the sideline by Morgan, and Josh a gain of 4. 3rd down coming up.
You know, the other thing that struck me, Joe, in visiting with Jimmy Clausen when he walked into our room on Friday.
For the holiday to be with her dad and brother, but she was diverted to Chicago to watch Jimmy make the start. And on 3rd down, she watches Jimmy make a completion to Alshon Jeffrey. And a good throw that carries Jeffrey after the run 18 yards into Detroit territory.
You watch Jimmy Clausen. He hits his 5th step, ball's out on time, knows where to go with the ball.
Now going to air it out. Jeffrey downfield. There's no flag. And that looked like there was contact before the ball got there by Slay.
Yeah, it looked like Darius Slay may have knocked Jeffrey off his line right there with the left arm. I was a little surprised too. I thought there was going to be a call on a flag, and then at the end of the play as well, you see there's plenty of contact down the field.
That was a perfect ball by Clausen, and without that little tug, I think Jeffrey is celebrating a touchdown.
Yeah, I do too, and what I like is that Clausen got the ball out in a hurry before Alshon Jeffrey even got his head around.
Here's a screen to Forte. Levy forces him out of bounds. Let's go back to the end of that play. That to me is a missed pass interference call.
Yeah, all the way, Joe. The right arm is on the back of the shoulder pads. The left arm, there was contact even before the end of this play. Darius Slay got away with one.
Now 3rd and long. Third down and 11. 53 ticks left in the first half. Clausen, sideline pass caught, and this may give Trestman the opportunity to go for it on 4th down. That completion, and Chicago takes a timeout. I think Clausen's had a good first half after looking a little shaky early. He's made good throws.
Yeah, he hasn't looked overwhelmed one bit.
Ross. That hit it. Live ball. Bears have it at the 10. McManus on the recovery. And Ross just got too close.
He was going to field it, and then he decided not to, and once that happened, it was just a matter of where the ball was going to bounce, and why he hesitated, I'm not exactly sure, but a great opportunity now for Chicago.
Have it.
We're good. Right there. Hey. Set.
Blitz. Forte. What a throw. Touchdown.
It's unbelievable poise by Jimmy Clausen. He comes out, looks like DeAndre Levy. He's got to be in coverage. Somebody has to be in man coverage on the back, coming out of the backfield, but Clausen lays it beautifully. It's an outstanding throw to Matt Forte for the behind on Thanksgiving. I think they viewed this as a bit of a tune-up, but they have not looked good. Special teams gaff, the turnovers offensively, not good.
3 timeouts left, so they can work the middle of the field as Riddick makes the catch, and a timeout will be taken. And that gives us a chance to check in with Kurt Menefee and hear what.
Keep it there. Keep it there.
First down. Stafford to the sideline. Out of bounds is Riddick.
Well, obviously, Joe, the Lions came into this game with great confidence with all that's happened here in Chicago, and if they're able to win, I don't think anybody expected Washington to be able to beat Philadelphia in that ballgame.
Keep it there. Keep it there. Bonus.
No gain for Riddick, so 2nd and 10. 2 timeouts left. Stafford is going to go down, and down in the arms of Ratliff. And that'll do it for half number 1. Turnover's a big part of it. Detroit had limited that. They came in +8.
Poor decisions. I said, Coach, you're the king of famous quotes and sayings. Did you stress anything? And he said, yeah, fundamentals.
Well, let's see how they start this second half, Aaron, as the handoff is to Reggie Bush. He drew a crowd. Jeremiah Ratliff was the first one in there at the bottom of that pile, a gain of 7.
Well, You go back, Joe, and you take a look at the 2 interceptions that Stafford threw in the red zone. This was just a very poor decision to the middle of the field when you're rolling out to your left. This second interception, as I said, not so much on Stafford, just a miscommunication. He's expecting Golden Tate to do one thing, Tate does the other. And when you get down in those tight spaces, that's the difference in a completion and an interception.
See what he's done the last 3. And then today. Quick throw, pass caught. Golden Tate's got a first down at the 45. As we talked about, you said Jim Caldwell stressed limiting the turnovers. Last year, the Lions were -12 in the turnover ratio, into today +8. So a huge turnaround, but not good today. And Calvin Johnson, as he was out there blocking for Tate, he got hit from behind by Golden Tate, and he limps off the field.
You see that right foot kind of gets stepped on. You always worry about that when you're blocking as a wide receiver and a runner is coming up from behind and gets rolled up on your legs. And Calvin Johnson's been dealing with those types of things all year.
Here's Bell on first down. Joik Bell. Good play made coming up from the secondary. Demontre Hurst, gain of 2.
Got to follow up with what you said about Jim Caldwell and the turnovers and the turnover ratios. He said the goal coming into the season was to be a +4, and they're above that right now. But as you look at this particular game, that's been the difference. And right now it's 7-7. I believe that he does have to be pleased that it's a tie ball game, although unhappy with the play.
Calvin Johnson missed 3 games with a sprained ankle. On the sideline, stretching it out. 2nd and 8. Pass is into the ground as Stafford got hit when he let it go. Corey Fuller, the intended target. 3rd and 8 coming up.
And Stafford under pressure.
Blitz. Stafford flushed out to his left. Got a man, Bush. And Reggie Bush, about as good a check down back as you can find in the league when healthy, has got 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford knows that they're bringing some pressure and buys some time, delivers a good ball moving to his left to Reggie Bush. And that right now, to me, Joe, is one of the best things to come out of this first half has been Reggie Bush and the things that he's done.
He's got 9.5 sacks, and that turf gave way under the left foot of Young. Here's wide open Ross. And he's got a nice catch for 11 yards and a first down.
And when you look at this injury, Joe, and the way that he came off the ball without any contact, it looks like it could be an Achilles tendon type injury, and those are difficult to come back from for a guy who's really been outstanding. I know in visiting with Jared Allen, you know, he's been very impressed with the job that Willie Young has done. He was a rotational guy early in the year, and then when Lamar Houston went down, he became a full-time starter, has played great. It's unfortunate.
Here's Bell. Pushing it down inside the 25 in this tie game. Picked up 4.
Well, it's a good drive right here for Detroit to take this opening possession here of the second half. It was not a good first half for this offense and the way that they turned the ball over, but this is a nice drive that they're having now.
2nd round pick Ego Ferguson is down.
We're hoping those young players can develop into some solid guys and get this defense back to the form that we once knew.
Here's Bell on 2nd and 6. By the way, Aaron Andrews confirming from down on the field that it is an Achilles injury for Willie Young. So that's bad news for Willie Young for the Bears, as he was really making a name for himself here out on the edge defensively for Chicago.
Yeah, I mentioned the conversation with Jared Allen, and what he said was, you know, he really believes that he's a guy who can be a 10-sack type player for, you know, years to come. He has that type of ability, and he's really grown as this season has gone along, and a guy who played for the Detroit Lions last year.
Tate in the backfield on 3rd and 3. Stafford looking his way and incomplete, as Tate did not get his head around fast enough to see the pass. Hurst was there in coverage.
Yeah, man.
On Ferguson, number 95, laying there, and watch Raiola. Steps right on the outside of the right leg and ankle. That is just flat out wrong.
Yep, uncalled for. He'll be getting fined. There's no place in it for the game, and unnecessary.
Terrible. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews.
Just to add on that, Joe, Ego Ferguson has been taped up and told everyone on the sidelines, I'm fine, I'm coming in. He's also explained the incident to about 4 or 5 guys over here on the Bears side.
Thanks, Aaron. Starting at the 20, down by 3. Here's Forte. Nice gain of 5 to start the drive. Brought down by Bynes. So what are we seeing here, Troy, from Jimmy Clausen? It's looked good, and I would imagine to some degree it's looked like what Trestman has wanted, with a ball coming out on time from his quarterback.
Yeah, for those at home, I mean, this offense, I believe, is very quarterback friendly, and it's not real difficult. You go through a progression, 1, 2, 3, go to your check down, get the ball out. You're not supposed to be back in the pocket holding it, and he has not done that.
So you go to the mistakes by Cutler, whose 24 turnovers were the most in the NFL. Again, benched during the week. First time he's been benched, and a guy that was rewarded with a 7-year contract to be the franchise quarterback, and here he is, Troy, benched in week 16.
Well, I know Mark Trestman said it was performance based, Joe, but I think if you had handed a big contract to Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, name a guy, you would not be benching a guy at any point during the season, regardless of performance, because you're anticipating that, hey, this is going to be the week that the guy plays at the level that we expected when we signed him to the big deal. So I think it goes way beyond performance and is real reflective of whatever Jay Cutler is or isn't as a leader or someone who inspires the play of those around him.
57. Set.
Clausen picked up the first down.
Yeah, we got him. Wait. 45 on. Hey, 57. Hey, set.
Here's Forte, good play. Big hit made, but good run. That's Jones who made the hit, and then he went on a 3-yard ride on the back of Matt Forte.
And Matt Forte, I know that he is so highly regarded within this organization, and Mark Trestman, when I asked him about him and how he has done this year, he's been an excellent player for a number of years for this franchise, said that he has not flinched, that he has been the consummate professional. He shows up every day. In fact, he told the team this week that the way that Matt Forte has practiced this week and every week during the season, he hoped that the others would come out and play to the level that this guy does each week.
Here's Jeffrey. And the big-bodied Alshon Jeffrey, all 6'3", 216. Picks up 9 and a first down.
You know, it does look like a different offense, though, doesn't it? I mean, watch that Monday night game against New Orleans, against a very poor defensive team in the New Orleans Saints, and they couldn't do anything. They couldn't get lined up. They couldn't execute simple passes. And now against the league's #2 defense, it hasn't been spectacular, but Clausen has done a nice job.
Good throw, pass caught, and it is enough for a first down to Marquise Wilson. Another quick delivery by Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, Marquise Wilson on the quick slant. You got to get the ball out. You're dependent on the receiver to win on the route. He gets inside technique. And a well-thrown ball.
Again, you go back to what Josh McCown did last year, taking over for Cutler. He got a 2-year, $10 million deal out of the play in the Mark Trestman offense. And now a chance for Forte on first down as he picks up about 8, maybe 9, and a second and short coming up. But it's easy to pile on Trestman. He's not the kind of a head coach who's going to come in and flip the podium in the post-game press conference. Mild-mannered guy, a gentleman. And I'm sure his frustration is at an all-time high, knowing what the offense and the weaponry here is capable of doing and what they've done turning the ball over. He's getting good play out of Clausen. Here's Jeffrey. First down inside the 30. And Clausen is gaining confidence, took a hit, but he is really comfortable right now.
You know, Forte, he just sees it late, and that guy's supposed to be picked up. Forte on Monday night, there was some miscommunication up front. Got Cutler hit a couple times in that game, and Forte, who does a nice job in pass protection, made a mistake there and got his quarterback hit.
Not sacked yet, though, despite the rookie guards in there. The injury to Long.
Hey, white. 57. We got 57. 39 crack.
Toss to Forte. Well played up front. Vines came in. A loss of 4.
I'm watching this Detroit defense, Joe, and they're slow to get back to the ball and just not playing with the kind of energy that I'm used to seeing from this group. I mean, we talked about it coming in as far as good as this year has been for Detroit and what may lay ahead next week. You know, what was going to happen in this game, and I don't think they were anticipating that it'd be a 10-7 ball game here almost through the third quarter.
2nd and 14. Clausen's in trouble. Penalty flag on the play. Clausen brought down back at the 40 by Ndamukong Suh. But a flag was thrown. It's against Chicago for a holding offense here on 3rd and 23 for the field goal.
George.
Sideline. Wilson drops it. Perfect throw, and Wilson had it and lost it. That's 5 drops now by the Chicago receivers. Obviously, instead of running into, it's roughing, and another dumb penalty. And there's Stanford. Pretty good sell job by O'Donnell. And Tressman's team's got a first down, and I say good sell job by O'Donnell. So a first down at the 24. Forte gets it. They've stuck with the run to the 21, a gain of 3, brought down by Yehedebo. It's really interesting to watch this unfold with Cutler on the sideline and Jimmy Clausen, a guy who hasn't started a game in almost 4 years, and the confidence he has at the line, calling out protections. I mean, he looks like he's been doing this all year.
You know, he sure seemed like a real confident guy on Friday, and he's gotten better as this game's gone along.
He's got one for Rosario, and a good play is made by the safety Yehedebo. 3rd and 7 coming up, and what a good piece of work by number 32.
It really was, because Roberto Garza, the center, he was the one who came out. If he was able to make that block, it looked like Rosario might be able to make something happen, but Yehedebo was able to dodge that block and make an open field tackle.
This will be the 14th play of the drive. 3rd and 7.
54. Mike 4. Mike right. Hurry. Set.
Clausen to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey.
Double move on the outside, but Alshon Jeffrey freezes Darius Slay just enough to where he's able to get a step on the corner, and Clausen gets it out there just enough for Jeffrey to be able to go up and make a play without Slay getting his head turned around.
So Clausen's got 2 touchdown throws in this game. Double-digit loss seasons out of 13. Chance here today for his first 11-win season, but all eyes are on him. Eagle Ferguson is back in the lineup for Chicago, who he stomped on last time the Lions had it. Here's Bell, good for 3, and we'll keep an eye on Raiola 51 and Eagle Ferguson 95 for Chicago.
Yeah, and the other part of that, Joe, is he's going to get fined, and right now you'd have to hope, if you're a Lions fan or you're the Detroit Lions, that that's all that it is, and it's not any type of 1-game suspension or whatever the league may do, but it's pretty blatant course, in that New England game earlier in the year, he went after a Patriot at the very end of the game. There was no fines or anything handed down. It was in the framework, even though many believed that that was a real cheap shot then.
Trying to get a screen to Riddick. He's being held by Allen. And so Stafford has to take off. Third down coming up as Stafford runs for 5 yards, and Riddick couldn't get away from Jared Allen.
You mentioned the pressure now really being on Matthew Stafford. I mean, this is nothing for him. He's only down 4 points and still has over a quarter to play. I mean, I remember being over there in London. As I said, they're down 21 points to the Falcons, and to watch him bring the team back, and he's been doing it all year long. Really, he's been doing it ever since he got to Detroit.
Third down and 2. Pass is caught on a juggle by Golden Tate. What a catch. Great concentration and a first down for Detroit.
Yeah, a ball that maybe was just a touch behind, but one that he could have caught right away, but he hangs with it. Was able to bring it in off the rebound and pick up that first down. Great concentration on his part. He was in a slot formation. I know in visiting with him earlier in the season, he said he did not like playing the slot formation or slot position when he was with Seattle, but he's enjoyed it here with Detroit.
Time winding down on the third quarter. Bostic makes the play on Reggie Bush. And that Bears defense, you want to charge up a defense that's playing right now at 5-9. Stomp on a rookie defensive lineman and see what. Pass was tipped and almost picked after Riddick couldn't make the catch. And Monday had a chance for his second of the day. Now 3rd and 8. Stafford, sideline, what a catch. Calvin Johnson stays in bounds. He turned around and the ball was right in his face.
Yeah, and good pressure inside. So Matthew Stafford has to cut it loose. This is a great job coming out of the route and being able to locate the football and make the catch. This is the first catch for Calvin Johnson here in this second half after he had 5 in the first. Pretty good coverage, but an excellent job by the veteran receiver of locating the football and making a play.
Stafford now over 4,000 yards for the season. 4th straight year he's accomplished that. First Lions quarterback to get to that plateau. That one's batted down at the line. And that defensive line is charged up. Brandon Dunn got his hand up, and there's Eagle Ferguson in the middle of it with good reason.
You know, Matthew Stafford, Joe, you talk about 4,000 yards. Once again, a couple of years ago, he had 5,000 yards passing. And, you know, this year he really has embraced. It's not about the stats and the numbers. It's about wins. And he's hung in and really done a nice job.
2nd and 10, Stafford flushed. Incomplete for Collins. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Lions, down by 4. Let's go to Kurt Menefee with it.
Within that organization at the end of this year.
3rd and 10. Stafford just got rid of it. Joyke Bell is spun down short of the first down. And now a decision coming from Detroit's sideline. Good pressure by David Bass. And we'll see. Stafford's complete. Perfect throw to Golden Tate. And a first down at the 18-yard line, and Tate was well covered.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Stafford got this ball in. There is excellent coverage by Tim Jennings. Just unable to get a hand on it, but he's in a great spot to knock that one down. It's an excellent throw by Matthew Stafford.
And now back inside the red zone. where Stafford has thrown 2 picks. Here's Bell. Dragged to the ground after a gain of 2.
We talked about Joique Bell and the year that he's had. Been running the ball pretty decent here as of late, but he personally hasn't been able to get much going here in this game. Most of the yards they've gotten on the ground have been with Reggie Bush.
So now a nice drive put together by Detroit. Play number 12. Down by 4.
Well, Calvin Johnson one-on-one at the bottom of the screen.
Screen for Reggie Bush. Nowhere to go. Well played by Mel Tucker's defense. Jennings up and a loss of 3.
Well, this is an open field tackle by Tim Jennings, and very difficult to do against Reggie Bush, but he doesn't go for the fake. You see that he settles down, and as Reggie starts to give him the shoulders, he doesn't budge and just gives Bush nowhere to go, and knowing he's getting some help from the inside. Great job by Tim Jennings.
3rd and 11.
Playing coverage here. I'd expect Stafford to work the middle of the field.
He does. Pass broken up, no flag. Calvin Johnson the target. Ryan Mundy, the safety, is the one who came up and made the hit. We'll show you that kick by Prater. The block by Ratliff. And now the Lions defense is going to have to play like a number 2 defense. Morgan makes the catch, but Carey made the play, and a loss of 2. Back to the kick.
Yeah, Prater, he comes up to kick it, and he kicks the ground first. I'm not, that's why it came out so low. Ratliff really didn't even have to get very high. Hits him in the bicep, doesn't even hit him on the fingers, and I'm not sure that Prater even makes that kick if it's not touched. It came out funny because of, as they say, he kicked the big ball before the real ball, and that's kind of what I do on the golf course a lot.
Just a scuff job. Now 2nd and 12. Pass is caught, and somehow able to hang on after that hit is Marquise Wilson. Glover Quinn came up, and Wilson can't get up.
This was an ugly looking hit at the end of this play, Joe, as Glover Quinn comes in and hits him down low. Right across that right quad is way a lot. Yeah, those are the guys that they're throwing to on the practice squad, when they go up against the number 1 defense.
Here's Forte. He loses a yard, and I'll say it again. The Lions have relied on this defense all year long. They're the number 2 defense in the NFL. And in a game they won here on the road against a 5-9 Bears team, against a backup quarterback, they have to figure it out here now.
Well, think about it. The 2 interceptions keep them from probably at least getting 6 points. They get the poor execution on the field goal there. There's another 3 points. That's 9 points. And then the special teams problems on the return and the turnover sets up the touchdown for Chicago. So a lot of mistakes that have allowed the points to be what they are.
Here's Forte on the screen. Good play. Play was made by Carey. A gain of 4, 3rd down coming up, and you get the feeling it's a big 3rd down here for this Lions defense. Special teams mistakes. A fumbled punt, that muff punt early led to a Bears touchdown. Roughing the kicker punt led to a Bears touchdown, and now they just had a miss-hit field goal try and a block. Bad day for the special teams of Detroit. 3rd and 7. Clausen incomplete. Jeffrey the intended target. Some contact, no flag. Rasheed Mathis in coverage. 10 points. Down by 4. From the 27, Reggie Bush left side. Able to hop out of bounds with a 1st down.
Yeah, it's kind of time for this Detroit offense to put together a drive, and more importantly to finish it. Joe, you look at the job that the defense has done, and we've talked about Clausen and what he's been able to do, and I like what he's done, but still Chicago's only got 14 points, and so the Detroit defense is doing their job, and They have lost games, only giving up 14 points. Lost to Arizona earlier in the season, 14-6. And right now, at this point in the game, it's time for this offense to do their part.
Number 20! Number 20! Waiting!
On first down, play action. Stafford in trouble, able to get rid of it. He had Golden Tate. Pressure by David Bass. 2nd and 10.
And David Bass is the one who's able to get upfield and keeps Stafford from really being able to settle in. He has Golden Tate to the flat. He's got an intermediate crossing route also, but that was the pressure that, and Stafford just does a good job of getting it out and not taking the sack.
It just happened 4 times today. 2nd and 10. Low snap. Floated for Bell, out of his reach.
Against Shea McClellan, the linebacker, and he just failed to hit it.
On 3rd down, airing it out. Fuller is interfered with by Jennings. And this will be a big pass interference call against Tim Jennings.
It's just amazing how many.
Tight formation, handoff to Bell. Sliding. Got outside. And touchdown, Detroit. What a run by Joik Bell.
There's
Here's a handoff to Forte. And with 7 minutes to go, a gain of just 2. So Jimmy Clausen is on a 1-year deal. A guy who was coming off a toe injury when he had his pro day. He ended up a 2nd-round pick by Carolina, and other than 3 little mop-up opportunities this year, he hadn't been on the field when it counted since 2010. He's opened some eyes here today.
Yeah, I mean, how do you think he felt? 1-9 as a rookie starter. As you said, they invested a 2nd-round pick in him. He struggled, as you would expect. And then a new staff came in, Ron Rivera, and they draft Cam Newton, and then out the door goes Clausen.
Here's a pass incomplete for Wilson. Good to see Wilson back in there after the knee injury, but now it's 3rd and 8.
And if they're able to convert here on 3rd down.
Bang, bang.
Clausen, and the defense for the Lions steps up. It's 4th down. A free agent to be, and you talked about the work that he has to do being double teamed and fighting through blocks. It can pay well. Bell gets it, coming off the touchdown run, and a good start to this drive. Let's send it over to Joel Klett with a game break. Completely up for grabs. 2nd and 2. Bell. Good run. 1st down. And he will step out of bounds, which now that we're under 5 minutes will stop the clock with a 20-yard run as Christian Jones got shoved.
Get the 1st down and do it on the ground.
Lions are averaging over 6.5 yards a carry. Carried it for just under 130 yards in this game. And with that stop, grandson of Vince Lombardi calling the plays for the Lions. Longtime assistant in New Orleans. Stay on the ground. And why not? Bell a yard short of a 1st down. Knocked down by Bostic, and the Bears will take their first time out. 0 for their last 20 at Lambeau. 3rd down and 1. It's Collins, the fullback, and he's going to fight for the 1st down. And they have had no problems keeping it on the ground, winding down the clock. Timeout Chicago. 3. Only one timeout left for Chicago. Safe throw, but it's incomplete. Second and 15 coming up as we look ahead to a Week 17 matchup at 23 since '91 in Wisconsin.
Expect a run here.
And you get it on second and 15. Bell, good play made by the young linebacker Christian Jones. He's a rookie. Third down coming up, and an opportunity to screen for Bell. Bostic got in there to make the play first, and Bell is going to be brought down on a tackle by Allen. A gain of 5. It's fourth down. The Bears out of timeouts, but the defense has kept this a one-score game. Blair here in Chicago. He's had his backup prepared. To the sideline, Wilson. And the drive begins with an 8-yard completion to Marquise Wilson.
I was going to say, the one guy who you don't want to let beat you is Alshon Jeffrey. He's the big play threat, but Jimmy Clausen has done a good job of spreading the ball out to all the guys that he has. And Clausen feels comfortable trying to get the ball, too.
Clausen out of trouble. He's got a first down and then gets hit. That'll draw a flag. And another penalty as Clausen's helmet gets knocked off, and he gets up ready to fight. It was Ziggy Ansah. And Steratore in to calm it down. Here's the hit, head-to-head, helmet-to-helmet by Ziggy Ansah, and another penalty against the Lions.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Defense. Number 94. Contact to the quarterback's helmet. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Troy, this is like the old Lions. Undisciplined, personal fouls. We saw the center Dominic Raiola stomp on Ego Ferguson, and now that hit that's just completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly when Ansah, started to go to try to make a play, but as much as I talk about, hey, the protection of the quarterbacks, maybe it's overdone, that clearly is the hit that has to be removed. It's a dangerous hit. Bears are fortunate that Clausen is still in this ball game after absorbing it.
Clausen on the move. He's going to throw it away. Pressure by Sue.
It earlier. I mean, I can't figure out why the league does what they do with fines, suspensions. I'd be interested to see what they do hand down to him.
Here's Jeffrey. Can't hang on. Not that there was much there anyway, but that'll go down as yet another drop. Darius Slay on the coverage end for the defense. Four-man rush. Pass is dropped again. Jeffrey was right there at the first down marker, and that's drop number 7.
How about that? Perfect throw, too.
Now it's 4th and 10. Clausen backing up as he throws it, and it is picked off. Either way, it's a non-conversion on 4th down. Glover Quinn has got interception number 7, and the Lions are going to win this game. But this was ugly by Dominic Raiola, stomping on the leg of Ego Ferguson, and he's trying to explain himself to this defensive line. But as you said, who knows? Yeah. Coming out of the league office, it's at least a fine, and who knows if that costs time for Raiola.
I asked Jared Allen about Dominic Raiola specifically, and as you said, he says he's gotten to know him and all that, but he described him as grimy. He immediately said, oh, he's a grimy player, and that was a cheap player that stomped on Ego Ferguson.
So we'll hear about that. We will say so long from Chicago, and it's another win, and for the 4th time in franchise history for the Lions, they've got 11, and they've got a date with a division title on the line next week at Lambeau Field against the Packers. Both the Lions and the Packers have officially stamped their ticket for the postseason. And the Lions will take it any way they can get it. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up our day here in Chicago. Hard-fought game, and in the end, it's the Lions winning by 6. Back after this.